Hello and welcome back to Astromantics, the astrology show where we talk about astrology and love and stuff. So, this upcoming Sunday, the 13th, will be a Venus Sun Cazimi. What does that mean, Lacey? You may be wondering. Well, a Cazimi is when something is said to be in the heart of the sun. So you can have like a Mercury Cazimi. That's when Mercury is within 17 minutes on either side of the sun. So what this looks like is in astrology. Oh man, what do I have that I could even use? Okay, let's say this is the sun, right? Let's block a selenite. Here's the sun. All right, let's say this is the sun. So when a planet is coming up and it aligns, basically, is kind of behind the sun, or it can be in front of the sun, but the sun is so bright that you can't see the planet, right? So it'll feel like it's in the heart of, right? And when something is said to be, it's in the heart of the sun, that means that it expresses itself in a warm, kind nature, right? Venus is the planet of love and attraction. I'm just holding up a little carnelian heart here. So let's say this carnelian heart, the Venus in Cazimi goes like this. But now it's in the heart of the sun. This means it could mean a lot of good things. Venus is a benefic. If you have a night chart, it's especially benefic for you. What's a night chart? You were born at night, not during the day. You have a night chart. Venus is your most benefic, if that is the case. So for you who have a night chart, you in particular, this is real good for you. Really good things are going to be happening for you. My business partner, Mary, she has a night chart. So Venus is her most. Hello. I have a day chart, so mine's Jupiter, but still really good. So they're going to be like this. So what does that mean, Lacey? Well, when something it can mean I have gotten beautiful messages from people before during a Venus Cazimi conjunction, right? It means that, and especially with this Leo one, right? Because it's in the sign of Leo. The sun is in its domicile there. The sun loves to be in the sign of Leo. So for Venus to be there, I mean, and it's in retrograde, Venus has been in retrograde. That's where she's at now. But if you have been waiting for some good news, this means that wherever this Cazimi falls in your chart, you could be getting some good news there, right? Some really good news if you have a night chart. So I have some examples, because of course I do. I'm gonna share my screen. First, let me make sure my screen is on a place that I want it to be on. Okay, boom, bam. Okay, that's the screen. All right, I'm just gonna share my screen. Bam, blue. All right. So I have it set already right here on this screen for when it's exact, but it technically starts. So 12 a.m. on, and that's Pacific Standard Time. So this is earlier, kind of better for people who live on the East Coast, because then it starts a little bit later for you, where it's like super early for us, right? Because the time difference. But see these minutes here, so I'm gonna like see if I can't zoom in. Whoa, zoom in. See this 20 degrees, 20 degrees. This is Venus. This is the sun here. And then we can see 17 is away from 30. So 34 minus 17 is 17. So 17 minutes. The Cazimi starts now at literally midnight, right? I don't know why that made me think of Cinderella, like going home, but like she gets really good news later, right? So the Cazimi starts here. If you are on Eastern time, you do like 4 hours ahead, right? So like 4 a.m. is when theirs starts. And then it ends at like 8. Yeah, theirs would end at like, well, we'll get into that. The moon is in its domicile. That's like super good too. This is like a super good day for night charts. Tell you what, I don't know if y'all have anything planned on Sunday morning, but people who go to church, it'd probably be a killer band time. That's the only thing I can think of. I mean, who goes to church at 12 a.m.? But it's going to be a Cazimi till like 8:45. So if you go to the early service, you about to get your little knickers blown off. Anyway, that's what it made me think of. Like when I first saw this, I thought, who would be around at this time? So it goes exact at 4:11. Oh, you know what? Before that even happens, we have a 1:16 at 1:16 a.m. in the morning. I have it at Portland because that's where I live. We have transiting IC, that is private, home, personal, is going to be exactly conjunct this right in between it. See, right in between the sun and the Venus here, right? What does that mean? It means that maybe you might get some news that is personal that I don't know that it would be news though. I see it's private. You might be having good thoughts at this time, good private thoughts at this time. That's kind of what I was thinking, right? Because it could be a myriad of things. Leo is the sign of being on the stage, being seen, right? Venus is attraction, right? So maybe you could be feeling particularly attractive at this time. I don't know. At 3:21 a.m., 21 a.m. At 3:21, oh, here's the other thing too. So you'll notice that it moved houses, right? Just now, it went from this house to this house because it's going this way to go up above the horizon eventually, right? Right now, the sun's below the horizon where I live. So this is the second house of resources now that the sun and Venus are in. It could be that while you are sleeping, you get some fantastic news, right? Some fantastic news about abundance, some fantastic news about attraction, some fantastic news about children. So Leo is the sign of children. So perhaps your children may be getting some fantastic news that they share with you. This would be especially true for me because mine here, this Cazimi is happening in my fifth house of children. So some good news for my children, something like that could happen. Also, I have been doing projects that have to do with romance, right? So the fifth house is creation. It's creative self-expression, right? So I personally could be getting some news on a project that I've been working on around romance and attraction and things like that because this Cazimi is in a trine, heavy, real good flow to my moon in my first house of ego, right? So my ego could be getting stroked at this time or some sort of goodness here. We do have a square that day, though, to Uranus. So we'll see that Sun Venus is in a square to Uranus, which is in Taurus. And that is in my second house of resources. So yeah, something unexpected. Squares aren't necessarily bad. It means that they are motivators. So maybe I could be motivated by resources and others' resources, right? So this could be a project, a work project, right? Something that I could make money on in the future, if you will. News about that kind of a thing. All right, back to the transits. Oh, let me move my little screen here. Here, actually. All right, 3:21. So it happens, it is super exact at 4:11 a.m. Kiss children. So that's really good. That's when it's super exact. I mean, so it's in the second house of resources. So wherever this is lining up in your chart, expect some good resources, some good news, some good something coming your way. Yeah. Anyway, so that's like, it's just a really, really good thing. But yeah, so Leo, leadership, right? Perhaps you will have been informed that you got a new leadership position. That could be a thing. You could be told that maybe your child got a leadership position. You could be told that maybe somebody who you have an attraction to got some kind of something leadership position, right? Because Venus is all about attraction. I mean, it could be any number of really good, really great things that come this way. Positive communication usually. It warms the heart, right? Leo rules the heart. So something to do with the heart going well this day. I mean, it isn't a square to that Uranus, right? So things that have been the same way for a really long time getting upset, or not even upset, getting like changed, right? Uranus is all about forward thinking, moving forward in some way, right? Rapid movement forward. It can also be that something falls apart, but will ultimately be for the better later on, right? Because Uranus, that square that's happening, right? So it's got that square to Uranus. You could be having a shakeup, right? A shakeup that could seem like, oh no, the worst, but ultimately will end up being for the best in some way, right? So I just wanted to let everyone know that it's going to be Venus Cazimi on Saturday or on Sunday. And that is something to look forward to. I'd love to know where Leo is in your chart, what house it's in, maybe any other planets that it's contacting, right? Especially if you have any planets that are in the 20 to 29th degree mark, right? Like in there, that's kind of a sweet spot. If you have any other planets in fire signs, right? Like I have a moon in the I have a moon 22 degrees, right? That means something super extra good will be coming my way that has to do with my body and how I appear to people in the world, right? That is kind of wonderful and beautiful and something powerful with others. So in my children romance section and in my other section here, ooh, and in my ninth house of teaching, I am hoping, this is my thought, I just did a teaching on, or I hosted an event where I was telling people about how they themselves might like to be touched, in a pleasurable fifth house way, and how they could know how, by looking at a chart, how another person might want to be touched, right? Because that's one of the things that I love. I am hoping that people are talking amongst themselves and thinking of ways to use me. I want to be used. I want to be on a stage. Oh yeah, you can declare things too, right? Like think of things you want to manifest. I want to be on a stage. I definitely want to call people up. I definitely want to talk to people about their charts and talk about how they like to be touched sort of deeply, personally, emotionally, and physically, and who they can look for in a partner, right? Like whether it's just a momentarily sexual thing or whether it's a sort of a more long lasting thing. Ooh, those things rev up around here. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Those are things that I was thinking of. So I'd really, really like that. I'd love a space. I'd like to be invited to a space to do my little event, do my little workshop, my program. Yes. So that's what I would love to do. I would love to happen, putting it out there, spirit. So yeah, expect some interesting shifts on Sunday. Could be even for like Saturday night to Sunday, but the hot moments is between 12 a.m. PST and between 8:45 a.m. PST, Pacific Standard Time. So make that for whatever time zone it is for you, right? Yeah, and that is all I have to say. I wish you the best and the most beautiful of Cazimi time. May you get amazing news. Please tell me if you get amazing news. Things shift for you in a really good way. Okay. Bye-bye.